Hello, I'm Richard Raffan. Yesterday I was given some walnut logs, offcuts, a few more in the barrow. I hope you can see behind me. I'm not at all sure what I'm going to get out of them. They have little splits on the end. Just have a closer look at them, and I've no idea what I'm going to be able to get out of it in the way of clean material, but I'm sure there'll be something. Looking at the end of this log, which is overall about 10-inch diameter, which is 250 millimeters. You can see there's some major splits. It's the same on the other end, not quite so bad. This log is around a foot long. Was it 290 mil, which is about 11.5 inches, and it will go through the saw. Now, typically what I want to do is cut through on the major splits. There are two here. I want to get rid of the splits on the end. Now these probably go in, should we say, at least 30 mil, 40 millimeters, close on 2 inches. So you don't really want to lose that much off either end of the log. It's not good advice generally to put a round log, round anything, through a bandsaw, because the force of the bandsaw is likely to roll the log into the saw. Can be very dangerous. You can wedge it, but what I'm going to do in this case, I suppose I could also put it through on end like that. It's fairly stable. Right, so a safer way of cutting a log like this, if you can, is to put it through the saw on end, and I'm going to go through the main split there, and I'd like to line up the pith. I always want to get rid of the pith when I'm cutting a log, so I need to kind of line up, eyeball it at this end to there, so I think I won't be too far off there. And once I've got that, then I'm going to have a flat face and I can turn the log over on its side. It's easier to handle. So essentially what I want to try and do is to cut a series of short planks or squares, which will be my turning blanks, and get there as soon as possible with as little waste as possible. This is a 1/2 inch blade, 4 teeth per inch, and I've just resharpened it, so I hope it's going to go all right. So, having got to there, I can now see how far the splits go. So the next job is to cut those off. So I'd like to just take a thin slither off. I'm going to do it this way because of the way I normally do it. Then I look at the offcut to see how far the splits go. Well, there's one lot. Just take a thinner one off. So this comes off. I can bend it. Well, the first thing I learn is that the bark's going to come off. So no natural edge bowl or no bark rim bowl. That's the main split. Otherwise it's solid. So I can go on to there and I mark where the split is. Now, same the other end. And I can see that there's another one up about here. Now those splits if you can afford a bandsaw with a foot brake, go for that. So I have that line going that way, and unfortunately at the other end it's coming out roughly this way. So there isn't a bowl in there, I don't think, so I'm going to cut this for square stuff. So I'm going to go from here down to there. That should be okay. There's my original split, and it's pretty well clean on this end. Just check. Well, I'm just going to square this up. So it'll be some sort of end grain project. So the split here is coming down there. So I'll be okay squaring that up there. So out of that half, I've got two 80 or 75mm squares. That's about 3-inch square. Slightly suspect end there, but that will mostly turn out, or it can go into a chuck. But that basically is potentially boxes or scoops or goblets, any little kind of end grain project, or even a little mallet. I get my moisture meter on it. (26% wet). Right, so that won't be, ideally that will go in the solid, won't really be ready to work for about 3 years. So if I'm going to make it into boxes, I'll rough turn it. I'm 82 years of age, so I don't think I can afford to wait for 3 years. So Yeah, so ideally this would now, with the old rule of thumb, a year per inch plus a year. That should take about 4 years to nicely dry out. If I'm going to use this for boxes, I would rough turn it, and that would probably be ready to go in 9 or 10 months. Might even microwave it. Otherwise, it'll be quite good for something like a scoop, one of my kind of flour scoops, and or ladles, where I can make the things out of green material. Now I'm going to do the same to the other half. Now, rather irritatingly, I forgot to press the start button after I moved the camera. What I've ended up with is these two pieces, blanks. That's another 3-inch square, 75mm square. I got a couple of, or I cut one spatula blank, and there's probably another one or two in there. And this piece, which is 4 inches thick, 10 or 95mm, and just slightly bigger that way, 120mm by, which is about 5.5 inches. The whole thing is 9 inches long, 230mm, so I've got two 4-inch 100mm diameter pieces in there. Now I can do several things with this. Here's the pith. Now that will turn out, but from here I'm looking at a potential. I can do some little kind of hollow forms or deeper bowls in there. I could also cut this in half and have two smaller bowls, kind of 4x2, which is a classic sugar bowl size. So plenty of options with that bit, and for the moment I will just paint this either with usually with acrylic paint is what I use, or one of the wax sealers, and that will be fine for those two. I'll just quickly cut another one of these so you can see how that was happening. So the fat end, the handle end will be there. I want that about 1 inch square. Inch square at that end, and take it down Now that is a potential spatula, two of those. So out of that one log, am I going to get another one out of there? No, I'm not. So out of that one log I have potentially 3 large scoops, several little boxes, and between I could have four small bowls out of this, 2 deeper ones, lots of options. So these will get painted on the end in case I can't get at them for a bit. The bowls I'll probably rough out, but I will paint the ends first.